Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor, and I like to watch these shows and react to it. And as I always say, don't use YouTube as a replacement for therapy. If you need a therapist, get one. You deserve it. Let's watch the show.
I worry about plants. Trash. All plants.
I think we might be staying at the farm even longer.
But if we stay here, I guess we have more problem.
Okay, so it's interesting that Brandon is suggesting that. He's saying, oh, well, if you're pregnant, we can stay on the farm longer, right? And she is saying, if we stay, it'll be more problems, which I tend to agree with. Now, we don't know. Maybe if they move out, they'll have even more problems. But I think it stands to reason that things would be a lot less complicated if they moved out, even with the financial issues.
If Julia is pregnant, I don't know what we're gonna do. You know, I can't even afford to move out right now. A baby is definitely not what we need. And if she's pregnant, I mean, there's no way we can afford a wedding.
Yeah, he seems to be real fixated on affording a wedding. Now, I understand that. It's important. But there are bigger fish to fry at this point, right? One, children, potentially. Two is the viability of your relationship. He's real focused on, spending money on a wedding. I wonder where that comes from. Is that from his parents? Maybe. Is that some sort of value he has? I don't know. Is it an excuse to keep him on the farm unconsciously? I don't know.
So, what mean?
What?
2 lines. Is pregnant or not?
You're joking, right? Show me. Show me.
I'm not pregnant.
What's up with people tricking people about pregnancy tests on this show? I mean, at least in this instance, it was instantaneous, so it is a little funny, but it is a theme this season. So now are you going to think about more effective birth control methods? Let's see what they do. Somehow I imagine that's not going to happen, but maybe it will.
I'm pregnant because now we need to say, this is true or not true. And I worry, parents start more control after this situation. Why we say you parents? I guess we need first look at test and next say you parents. Why we say first you parents?
Something just told me.
Now your mother won't go. We go doctor
I
after.
think we still should, and I think you should still go on it. I don't like being scared like this.
So was that part of this for Brandon? He was wanting to involve his parents while the iron was still hot, if you will, as a way of getting his mom involved in Julia's life, getting Julia to take birth control pills. Was that what's going on here? There seems to be something else going on here. Let's rewind that there's some subtleties here.
Or Betty and Ron, maybe I'm pregnant because now we need to say this is true or not true. And I worry parents start more control after this situation. Why we say you parents? I guess we need first look at test and next say you parents. Why we say first you parents?
Something just told me.
Now your mother won't.
Something just told me we should tell them. So that's interesting because that would be in line with the hypothesis that he doesn't really know what he wants because he's never been given a chance to explore that. And he defaults always to them. That's what dependency is. When people suffer from dependent personality, they believe they're incompetent and they don't know how to do anything on their own. It's not a choice, to be clear. If some of you have dependent people in your life, or if we will hypothesize that Brandon suffers from this, it is not a choice to be dependent. You literally don't have a psychology of someone that is able to think independently. Similar to the way a 4-year-old, if you went to a 4-year-old and said, what do you want to invest in your 401k or commit to a career right now? A lot of 4-year-olds would be like, huh? And they would run. I mean, just you asking them a question would have them running to their parents and being like, who is that person? That's the state that we expect a child to be in. And if you never allow someone to be independent, then at the age of 27, they still will basically have that mindset. of, oh my God, something scary is happening, run to my parents, run to my dependency objects, and glom on next to them, and they'll tell me what to do because I've never ventured off on my own. And so he just said that. He's listening to her, and I think he is kind of agreeing with her, and he's saying, I don't know, something just told me I should tell them. It could be part of that dependency.
We go, doctor.
I think we still should, and I think you should still go on it. I don't like being scared like this.
Nope.
There are condoms, Brandon. There's the pill, there's the condom, there's other things. There is another solution.
Julia and I disagree on this topic. I think birth control would be a great option with some kind of form besides condoms because we both don't like condoms, but I guess we need to use them.
So Julia, I was like, really? Julia doesn't like condoms? I mean, certainly some women don't like condoms, but usually it's the dude that doesn't like the condom. So he says, we both don't like condoms. I think another option, so if we both don't like condoms, then hey, we either got the pill or we have the withdrawal method. Which one is better? And then we see her face right here. Let's rewind that. It's a classic. That should be a meme right there if people are thinking about memifying this episode.
Julia and I disagree on this topic. I think birth control would be a great option with some kind of form besides condoms because we both don't like condoms, but I guess we need to use them.
So there's nothing wrong with, regardless of gender, someone saying, hey, could you take the pill? There's nothing wrong with making that request. But if they say, no, I don't want the side effects, I don't want this and that, then you have to say, okay, what options do we have other than that available to us? The pill, for many people, can be really beneficial on a lot of ways without much side effects. For others, there can be some pretty significant side effects. So then you have to think about what else you're going to do, and obviously condoms is the logical choice after that. But even with condoms, there's still a rate of failure, particularly if you don't use it quite right. So, the other option is abstinence or doing other kinds of acts. I won't go into it, of course. I'm sure y'all know, to avoid pregnancy. I don't know why I'm going into that topic, but I guess my point is that they need to have a rational, mature conversation. They did not have that prior to this scare, and they need to change the way they interact. They need to change the way that they operate as a couple to avoid this happening in the future. If they just go right back to the way things were, then this is likely to happen again.
Hello? Yes. You guys need to come out here. We need to talk to you for a second.
Hi.
All right, so I'm guessing that they are about to tell them that she is not indeed pregnant, and the response from the parents should be something like, oh, well, that's a relief, right? Because you didn't want to have a kid, right? Yeah, we didn't want to. Oh, okay, well, that's a relief, so that's great. Is there anything I can do to help the two of you? I mean, you're grown adults. You have the internet. Do you need us to help? Or what? Do you want us to comment? Do you want us to force ourselves on you? That would be the appropriate response. They are four adults talking about something. I suppose the other thing that would be within ethical bounds for the parents to say, or functional bounds, would be to say, oh, I am relieved because I worry about the two of you. I know the two of you want to move out. I know the two of you don't want to have kids. And so I personally am relieved. And I look forward to when grandbabies come, but I'm relieved for you. So I'd be okay to express that as well.
Join us.
Okay.
Well, we took a test today.
Well, yeah. And? No. You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
I wish I was.
No. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. No.
Now they're pranking the parents. I don't know if this is a good idea. I think it's too much of a sensitive subject. to joke about. What? I mean, this is the third time. I guess technically the fourth time at least it's been considered. You know, Jovi, Yara did prank him once off camera, and then he thought he was being pranked another time. And now we have 2 more pranks happening. Are we going to have like 5 more by the end of the season?
No. You are not. It was not positive. It wasn't positive.
Julia?
Are you positive about
Julia?
that?
I'm not anything.
I want to hear Julia tell me that. Is it positive or negative? Be truthful. This is not a game. This is not a joke. I need to know.
Why? Why do you need to know? Why do you feel like it's your prerogative? You're entitled to know? If they want to tell you, then they can tell you. It's just an interesting way of. Now, I know some of you actually are triggered by him. And yeah, we don't know for sure, but there certainly seems to be a tip of the iceberg thing with regards to his behavior. It wouldn't be unusual for the behavior, the little bit that we've seen from him in this show, that there is a vast iceberg underneath the water with a lot of intimidation, a lot of control, a lot of anger, a lot of entitlement, a lot of reactivity. I, of course, have no idea if that's true. He could be a complete sweetheart beyond the show. But I know a lot of you watching him are like, whoa, I know what that means. I've seen that before, and I know what's behind that. I know what he probably does away from the cameras, and I had a parent like that, and that person traumatized me. A lot of you have contacted me with that. And yeah, but anyway, so we just saw that. I was just like, let's rewind that. Just take note of the way he is saying this right now, because again, I want to say these are 4 adults, and the parents are not entitled to anything. They're not entitled. The grandparents aren't entitled to anything. It would be customary to tell your parents at some point, but you don't have to tell them right away. So let's rewatch.
Julia?
Are you positive about
Julia?
that?
I'm not anything.
I want to hear Julia tell me that. Is it positive or negative? Be truthful. This is not a game. This is not a joke. I need to know. Julia? I need to know. Yes or no?
And this doesn't help to inspire the parents to believe the 2 of them are mature adults, because they're approaching this in a very childish way. Who pranks your parents about such an important issue, especially to them? If you do that, you come across like your children, and then you will be treated like your children. So this doesn't help them.
Okay, you're not pregnant.
I'm happy that you're not. Remember that you can keep it that way.
Yes.
Be happy. We not need change
I
plans.
felt the same way you did, by the way.
At least I know that's settled, but
Right. So Brandon inserts his own thoughts. He's like, by the way, we felt the same way that you felt, because the parents aren't asking, how do you feel? What do you want? How are you doing with this? How would you like me to help? There's been no question. I just want to point that out. There's been no questions. Julia, how are you doing? You know, while they thought she was pregnant. Brandon, how are you feeling about this? What do you want? Is there anything I can do to help? Nothing like that. Only how they feel about it, and only what they feel is right or wrong. Now, why would the parents do that? Well, one, I should point out that this is an edited show and we don't know. And if we talk to the parents, maybe they'd be like, no, they cut this out, they cut that out. So who knows? But based on what we have been shown, why would someone be that way? Well, there's 2 main reasons that pop into my head right away. One is shame. When we're shamed as children and throughout our lives, then we operate from a place of avoiding shame all the time. And they might be in this constant state of avoiding personal shame by controlling other people, and they don't have the capacity to put aside their shame and to allow their natural empathy to care about other people and notice other people's feelings. That's one potential thing. The other is that if you grew up with a lot of relational traumas where you're rejected or abandoned or abused a lot, then you will do everything in your power to have close relationships that are safe. And you don't trust that that will happen naturally. And so in order to engineer close relationships that are safe, you believe you have to control other people so that they will be good attachment figures to you, including your own children. So that might be another reason why they aren't asking questions and they're mainly focused on how they're dealing with it. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.